said he wanted to talk about church stories, like old.
Well, listen,
Like go back when we were kids.
Anthony was like, "Hey, yeah, I thought it was cool." I was like, "Man, that's a good idea."
All right, share a story.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you grow up. I mean, obviously, we started on the Casey side of town, but we were too young to even know that.
Right, I don't remember. I remember if I close my eyes, I see a staircase and like hardwood walls.
No way,
Promise
bro.
you, ask mom and dad.
I don't care.
Ask mom and dad. That place had hardwood walls and it had a staircase. I can see it,
Bro,
Anyways,
you're under 1 year old.
I'm just letting you know what I can see.
Get out of
man.
here. All right,
Whatever.
I'm done with that.
You
No,
shut up.
Anyways,
I'm done with that.
So most of it is Forest Acres.
Right.
You know, down the street from Trenton Park.
Right.
You know, not too far away. Up the street was Grandma and Granddaddy.
Bethel Church.
Yeah. Across the river, Grandmama Wynn, Aunt Katie.
Yeah.
All the way out past Gardner's Ferry, like Leesburg, Aunt Diana and Uncle Wesley.
Near the airport with the Burkitts.
The Burkitts by the airport, that's right. And then it's, you know, the major road close by was Trenton and Forest Drive. And on Forest Drive was Forest Drive Baptist Church, you know? Like, that's what I remember.
FTBC still got shirts from it.
No way. I don't have one. I do remember the little gray.
You have that. Don't you have that?
No.
Denim one that says Forest Drive?
I do have
I think you have one.
That was Forest Drive Church. That's after they dropped the Baptist.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, dang. I forgot about that. I need to pull that out. Anyways. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, your grandfather's the pastor. Dad's the associate pastor.
So there all the time.
Yeah, at the church all the time. Mom sang in the worship.
So
we're there on Thursday nights. We're there on Wednesday nights. Whatever special event, any missionary
guest speaker
was in town, dinners, and
it's cool though. That was a really nice time to be a twin. Like,
yeah, we always
constantly had each other to.
That's true.
Throw football with, play a video game with when that was available. Not in the early years.
We didn't play much Super
90s.
Nintendo. N64 was really our first like dive into the video games or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think we had a Super Nintendo, but I don't think we played it very much. Mario.
Barely. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was cool. I mean, I think you think about the lampstand, right? That was kindergarten,
children's
church, right? It was called the lampstand.
Lampstand, yeah.
It was kindergarten through fifth grade.
I remember Buffy. Wasn't it Buffy?
Dude, I was on a puppet squad.
That's right.
I don't have a picture of it. I'm sure there's some kind of picture.
I was
from
on
back
the
in the
dance
day.
team at church.
That's true.
Yeah.
But like, we had this little thing, and like the baptismal pool was in the floor, right? So remember
that's right. You can fold the stage back.
Yeah, the stage you can pull it
right.
up. So that was fun. And then eventually they like the Bible verse.
Sword drills, man.
Sword drills. That's right. You had the
Put your
Bible right
hands on
there.
it.
Set, go.
Flip
Here's
to
what
it.
you go.
Romans 5:8.
Read it.
Yeah.
Whoever was first won prizes. I remember there was one time. No, it wasn't even a sword drill. It was a memory
That was
verse
the Bible
like
verse,
challenge.
Yeah. Was that Bible boot camp though?
It might have been Bible boot camp.
But that was
so what was cool is the grand prize was what, a PlayStation?
PS2. I feel like. I remember
There was a video game
with
console.
Crash Bandicoot.
There was a video game console on the line.
Yeah.
And what was really cool is, one, we were pastor's kids, so we were probably the heavy favorites going into it, right?
Nah, I wouldn't say the heavy favorites. There were some other kids who were definitely.
That's fair,
better
but we
at
had
the
double the
scriptures.
chance of walking away
That
with it.
that is probably
So,
why
like,
we won.
Yeah, that's 100% why we won.
Because we had numbers. Us and the Henschels. The Henschels had some numbers too.
That is true. That is true. Took them down.
Nah, that's
Get outta
messed
here.
up.
I bowed out in the semifinals or the quarterfinals.
I don't know why I was able to be the twin that won.
You had to be, bro. It wasn't gonna be me. I wasn't gonna win the finals. It was too hectic back then. I didn't take pressure well back
I remember that. I remember changing the projector.
Oh, you're talking about the overhead projector?
The overhead projector
with
in
like
service.
these clear sheets with the words
No
on
doubt.
them.
I remember that.
Remember doing the soundboard?
I remember when they were building the top sanctuary for the building.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Because like we would go and Dad would let us like walk through the construction with him and stuff. And I remember
Dad's
that.
a big fan of construction.
He is. He likes
It shows
watching
like,
stuff
hey, something really cool is about to happen.
getting built. Yeah. I remember that. I remember when we walked back behind the office building one time and they were like, "Yeah, we're throwing rocks at this trash can," and Paul Henschel handed you the rock or you picked up a rock. Either way,
I was encouraged.
Went through a rock at the trash can and just shattered the glass window, like
First
the
of
back
all,
glass window of the
why do
church.
we have glass doors? Like, who has a glass door? Get a real door.
I mean, there's glass doors right in front of us.
That's a sliding glass door.
I
this
mean,
was a pull open glass
whatever,
door.
man. You
Yeah.
just mags. You got busted.
that
Your arm, your aim was bad.
That definitely sucked.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a small trash.
I remember
can.
filming a music video on the top of the
Bye Bye Bill.
Bye Bye Bill.
We remade. Yup.
Remixed.
Shouts
Bye
out,
Bye
bro.
Bye.
We had pajama pants on, tucked into our socks. My hair was like
hair gel. I feel
yeah, it was weird, dude. I just seen a picture. I haven't seen the video, thankfully.
Thankfully.
Hopefully, it never resurfaces.
Yeah. I feel like Brandy has a copy of that though.
Shit, maybe.
It's all good.
We gave one to Bill, so he should.
I hope he let it. I hope he just let it go to the wayside.
Me too. I hope he threw it away.
Yeah,
Me too.
cool.
It was rough. John Welch was in there with us.
Yeah, that's right.
Dang.
It was good times, man.
I think so. I mean,
I played a lot of football in front of the
yeah.
like on that little
that
side part of
little
the
lawn.
church.
That's
You
right.
hit that light pole that one time on that beautiful post route out
Oh man, I woke up. Paul's literally laughing over me like, ha 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 ha.
there. You got knocked.
I ran straight
You
into
got
that light
knocked
pole,
out,
bro.
That thing was awesome.
It was awful. That was so bad. That was in high school though.
Was
No,
it?
going into
I feel like we were
eighth
middle
grade.
school still.
Well, middle school is still wildfire. You take the step up to 6th grade.
That's
Remember
true.
they had like it wasn't hazing. Let me be clear about this. It wasn't like bad.
Oh, the sardines
They
and Vienna
blindfolded us
sausages.
and made
Yeah.
these buckets of like mustard base, and they had like Vienna sausages and like gross. And they made us like put our hands in there,
Oh,
and like
man,
it
it's
was awful.
awful. Yeah.
It was so bad.
So
It was
gross.
very clean hazing. It wasn't.
Yeah,
like,
it wasn't nothing like
you know. But that was funny.
like you
All the
read
little
in
retreats and stuff.
in the news.
Shoot, we went on a freaking what was it? A missions trip. Our 6th grade year.
Oh, to the Bahamas.
To the Bahamas. We took a cruise ship to it.
Yeah, so it was like a 4-hour cruise, right,
we're-
from like Miami to the
We're in
Bahamas or
6th
something. I don't
grade.
remember.
We're in 6th grade, like blown away.
I remember singing karaoke.
Yeah, bro, it was nuts. Like, what do you like? Oh
I remember
my gosh.
being in the casino and I was like, I'm clearly not old enough. to be
yeah,
in
bro.
this
Like
casino.
I'm like 12. You know?
Yeah.
It's like international waters. Anything can happen.
Definitely
it's like,
tried my first pina colada.
I didn't. I don't know where you were.
well. Thanks, dog. Then I went and laid down because I thought I was getting dizzy. I think I
It was
just got
probably
motion
just yeah. It was
sickness.
probably just the boat.
Yeah.
But then we got there.
I went to a Bahamian hospital.
It was cool. Yeah. Well, that wasn't cool. But we were staying.
I was fine.
We stayed on the floor of this church, and there were two other
Like
two or
churches
three other
there,
churches
from
there.
Texas and Tennessee or something like that. I
South
feel like.
Carolina.
Nah.
Yeah, Luke McFadden was there. Zach's older brother.
What?
Yeah, 100%. Connie. Yep. You don't even know.
Connie.
You don't remember? She had red hair. Paul was a little fond of her. We're all sleeping on air mattresses.
I
We
feel like I
played
remember a girl's
Foursquare.
name named Brittany, who I was kind of like
Probably
sweet on.
That You were a sweet man. Please, you always found a girl. If we weren't on a church retreat, if Jordan didn't find some girl he had a crush on. We played Foursquare.
That's fair.
You remember that though? We played Foursquare a lot.
Yeah.
And then there was one time where Paul was swinging Jordan around like a helicopter, and then like I don't know if he lost you or just got too close to the wall. And
All
Jordan,
I know is I hit the
Jordan
the
goes bang
door frame.
into the wall, and then he had to go to the hospital. And I remember there was some girl I was sweet on because I always followed your lead, and so she was much older than me. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sad." And she like consoled me, and I acted like I was so sad that you were in the hospital. So thanks for the hugs. You know,
You didn't go to the
got a
hospital
little,
with me?
Heck no, bro. Got a little Pt.3 you know. She hugged me. That was the most love I've ever gotten from a woman or a girl.
Oh my god.
I was 12, and it probably wasn't love in her eyes. She was just like, this poor little kid's crying.
Yeah.
Just fake crying.
Just crying.
I don't remember
No,
her
you're probably
name.
Real crying.
It probably was.
We were
probably
soft.
wasn't. Yeah,
We were
maybe.
some soft children.
But then,
Multiple acquire the fires.
ATF, baby. That's right. My first one was nuts.
I did go to one passion conference, but I was like older.
I don't remember that one.
You
I didn't
didn't
go.
go.
Where was I?
I was a chaperone. I was on staff at church. But
You were a chaperone?
Pretty sure.
Oh.
Steven-
Not like you couldn't be a chaperone. That's not what I meant.
Thanks.
That's not what I was saying.
I don't care. I didn't take it personally.
All kinds of stuff happened. And then what was nuts is, right, we're going into, we were on that
I remember
property.
modesty blankets.
Oh, bless you.
Bless you.
And then they throw them blankets at
I
people.
remember that was wild.
Bro,
for me.
freaking Clark Taylor.
Clark Taylor.
This Australian minister,
Like,
dude,
jump on
he
your
would
lap.
come up, he'd sit on people's laps, and he'd slap them on the head with a microphone.
I feel like he
Oh
only
my
did that a
gosh.
couple times.
He had
But
like
sat on
6
the
heart
laps
attacks.
a lot though.
He had like 6 heart attacks,
But
bro.
it was cool. I mean, like we got to meet like a lot of Granddaddy introduced us to a lot of
without Granddaddy, we
people.
wouldn't have
I
traveled.
mean, traveling to Sri Lanka was opened up because
the
relationships that Granddaddy had made, and yeah, it's pretty wild that like where we are. I mean, it's not wild where we are today as a result of a lot of the things that took place in that time. But
Well, it's funny. I mean, even now I run into people like, "Oh, you're Glenn Anderson's grandson." It's like,
I remember that in Sri Lanka. Like that was, like specific. Like
that makes sense.
Wild.
I mean, and so does Colombia. Colombia makes sense too.
Yeah,
it's not that big of a city.
It's not.
People think it's
even
like,
now.
People are like small world. It's like really not, man. You spend 30 years in the same place, like you're gonna run into so many people. So many people. You know, if anyone was involved in some sort of the church growing up, they knew our dad, and they knew they knew our dad had twins. You're one of the twins. You're Pastor Brian's twins. Yeah, actually.
Seven Oaks was cool. If we're still talking childhood stuff.
No, you know the thing that got me about schools, and this is what I don't want to say pissed me off. But our whole life in school was pretty much portables. And then right after we finished with these schools, they're all brand new. You know, we got out of these schools and it's like, well, dang.
It is what it is.
We had to, I don't know. Seven Oaks was cool though, because, well, what was cool about that is Mom was a PE teacher and we were kind of like kings. It was like big fish, small pond.
I didn't feel that way.
I felt that way.
I didn't feel that way at all.
I was a gangster.
Wind pushed me around.
Yeah, because like I said.
He'd beat me up on the playground and stuff and get away with it because it was...
Well, I was a beast. One time I had this birthmark on my stomach and it was like purple and blue. And one time I walked up to a teacher and I was like, I got punched in the stomach. And I told her I got punched on the opposite side and I lifted up my shirt and she saw my birthmark and she was like, oh my gosh, go to the nurse. And I was like, okay. So I got out of something.
I lied one time in first grade show and tell because you remember that movie, was it Jungle to Jungle?
Yeah, bro.
With
Mimi Siku.
The fish market. I described a scene in a fish market. That's where me and my family had gone that weekend. And I remember Mom marched me over to Miss Woods at the end of the day. Because Miss Woods was like, y'all did something wild this weekend. And Mom was like, we didn't do that. And I had to go apologize. And
for lying?
Yeah, and tell my class. Oh, of course, bro. Tell my class.
Chocolate pizza.
Chocolate pizza in this
Shouts out Nick Out Ferry, dog. Yeah. We used to hang out.
The OG friend, man.
Yeah, straight up, man. Wandering around. Sheffield.
I still, to this day, man, I got 82,000 on one thing on Tony Hawk, and when I hit the ground, I didn't land it. I don't care that y'all didn't see it.
Well, you didn't land it.
Y'all didn't count.
You didn't land it. But
I had racked up the points in the spin. It was on that one level where you jumped off.
Going down the hill.
Super big hill.
I know what you're talking about.
I can't believe this.
It's the first level that you met.
I just wouldn't lie to y'all like that.
You know what isn't a lie? We were riding on our scooters one day, and Jordan.
I was barefoot.
He was barefoot. We went on the biggest hill. I swear it's the biggest hill. And my man, he goes to put his foot on the brake and doesn't have shoes on. It was hot, so he doesn't press it. And my man goes off the road and nails a mailbox, dude. And he just laying in this person's yard. I was like, oh my God, my brother's dead.
I was good, though.
He did. He popped up. We got out of there.
Transition to Creighton.
Take me back. That's why I said, well, I mean, yeah, who wouldn't want to go be 10 years old again? Are you kidding me?
Not right now. I absolutely would not want to be 10 years old.
10 years old in the late 90s. 10 years old in the late 90s.
In the late 90s?
Or early 2000s.
That's cool. Late 90s. Late 90s is cool.
But no, I mean, I think for me, this is why I said we were big fish in a small pond because, our mom was a teacher. So, we were well known and well renowned. Then all of a sudden you go to this other school on the other side of town and it's like, nobody.
Yeah.
Bro, we had a high ropes course.
That was terrifying.
We had a high ropes course. I get up on this thing and I'm like crying. I'm like, get me down.
I think middle school was probably the most traumatic for me.
Sixth grade
I cried
was fine.
at Camp Gravett. I cried in front of everybody. Just
I don't remember you crying at Camp Gravett.
I cried at Camp Gravett and crawled back down the daggum zip line because I didn't go down the zip line. I remember that. It scarred me, bro.
What zip line?
Middle school probably scarred me the most out of a lot of things. I'd say high school was fine.
That's fair. There was that one kid.
A certain point came.
Yeah. There was that one kid who wanted to beat us up.
I was being a jerk.
He wanted to beat you up, and somehow I got lumped into that. I was like, man, I'm about to get socked, and I didn't even do nothing. I don't even know who this kid is.
It's just part of being a twin, man.
Man, did some unforgivable things too, just
unforgivable.
Yeah, there's this one kid. Man, I didn't even mean to, and that's the problem is I got blamed for doing it. But I opened the door early. When the bell was about to ring and I opened the door early and I hit this kid with the door and everybody he sprawls out and I feel so bad, man.
I think one of the worst parts about middle school for me was because of how much I wanted to fit in and be considered cool
you
with
would
the cool kids.
Pick on these other kids.
I would treat other kids just
it's
so
awful,
bad.
Man. And you can't make up for that, the trauma that you caused kids like that.
And
I'm sure they turned out better because they fueled the fire and basically bleeped them. I don't care about them.
I was just I wanted that value, that external validation so bad that I would pick on kids.
It was crazy. I would say 5th grade, we were pretty confident in ourselves, and then all of a sudden you go to this new school and it's man, you weren't you lost all confidence. I did after 6th grade, about halfway through 6th grade. I don't know what happened. That was it. Well, I mean, I know what happened. I started to really care about what this certain group of kids felt about me.
Yeah, really wanted to fit in with people. We didn't have like some big friend group at Seven Oaks or anything like that, but I guess, I don't know. It's not about the numbers either. But I do remember struggling very quickly at Creighton, like feeling like an outsider and not knowing what to do. And I think by the time I got to Florida, I was so ready.
Well, you're still with the same group.
Yeah, but I was so ready to play football, and then I just didn't. I didn't give it the fair shake that it should have.
Oh, 100%, bro. I'm telling you.
Not until my senior year.
So last year we played against a team, and their offensive coordinator was one of our coaches our senior year. And he turned to me. He was like, "What's up, Win?" Blah, blah, blah. He turns to his coaching staff, and he's like, "This kid was the toughest kid." And I was like, I don't know what he remembers. I was like, he ain't remembering me. I was like the most scared kid like ever, dude. Like, oh my gosh, like I wanted to be there
so bad,
but like never, like
if there's anything in my life that I've put hours in on, it's throwing the football. Sure. I can throw the football. If there's anything I'm confident in right now today, it's for sure that I can throw the football. Even today, I'd have to stretch a lot more. Probably be sore for a couple of days.
My arm,
Yeah, But I put in that time, and I didn't even give it a fair shake. And I think, again, I was constantly chasing just like validation from other people. I think I wanted to be successful at quarterback so that the girls would want to date me and that I would be considered cool and popular. And I wanted to be this I wanted people to know me so that I would feel like I had some type of value or something like it. And it really it spiraled into all that.
I think it was crazy though. You look at the juxtaposition between what we were in high school, but then when we were at church.
Oh, those sideburns.
And those sideburns were gross. That's not even a question. But I'm just saying you take the same kid, right? We're 15, 16, 17. Yeah. When we're at Flora, how we were. But then when we were at Forest Drive,
I think that's crazy.
How we acted. It's the total shift.
Who I was on Sunday night in that setting.
Yeah.
Was not the same person.
This incredibly confident kid.
No doubt.
Wasn't scared of anything in terms of that. And maybe it probably had a lot to do with
the church felt safe because we always have been considered, I think, on the top of the totem.
Well, we're pastors' kids. We're the grandkids of the pastor. You know what I mean?
It was comfortable there. It really was. We knew who we were in those settings. And I think a lot of times, once Monday morning came, we were trying to be something that we weren't. But until college, really being yourself can be really hard to do in the high school and middle school setting if it's not the popular thing to be or do.
One of the things once you got out of high school and once you got into college, that summer going into college was just, there were a lot more experiences in there. You know what I mean? We met some friends that were just...
We became cool for us.
No. Well, I mean, I'm just saying we met some people who were very kind to us, who are still our friends today. We just saw some of them.
They're still kind to us.
Well, they're still kind to us. They're still friends. But, we just saw some of them. I mean, it's just we saw people who introduced us to other people. And then we also started to realize, I kind of just post-graduation, it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
It really didn't. And
still doesn't.
I mean, it still doesn't. And so, you started to feel a little bit more free. You kind of started to be yourself a little bit. And, I don't know. It's crazy. It's kind of crazy going into college, what it was like. And then, Mike being a senior.
Yeah.
Josh going to Salt to play baseball. Oh, I guess he was
Josh
still a
was a
senior. No, he
senior.
was still a senior, too. Yeah, he was still a senior, too. You're off at PC, and I'm at Carolina, and we're kind of, creating our own identities and stuff. But see, that was the thing about college is I was in this small major. At this
You
big
had a
school.
small community.
So but everyone was the same there. We were all, so the confidence in terms of that was I wasn't nervous anymore. Sure, did I run into plenty of people I went to high school with? Yeah, a lot of people I went to high school with also went to Carolina, so I would see them on campus and stuff like that. But the structure in which I operated at Flora didn't
carry over.
It didn't carry over because I could be whoever I wanted to be. Everybody in my class. There was one person from my high school in my class. And we knew of each other in high school, barely, spoke. But it was cool. I mean, after that, you're just kind of all figuring out school and trying to, well, I wasn't really trying to make grades. They were really worried about my grades. You know, I was just thankful to have people around me who really were like, hey, Win, maybe you should
study,
maybe you should do this
assignment,
or just like, you know, it'll help you.